Hey guys, good afternoon. Welcome back to Astral Diaries. Let's do a video real quick. Been meaning to do this video for a while. Just putting it off. I just had to delete a bunch of stuff from my phone to make some room for it, so I don't run out of time. And you know what? I've been wanting to do this video for a while, based on some of the comments I've been getting on my channel, Astral Diaries, as well as some videos that I've seen lately, and also some of the comments I see on Darius Wright's interviews, presentations. So I kind of want to give my take. Want to do this video for a while, and I've have a whole playlist on Darius Wright. I've been criticized of like hating on the guy or like trying to use him to help my channel grow, blah blah blah. To this day, guys, my channel, I haven't made a cent. I'm not making money from this. And it's just as somebody who's in this topic, I've talked about him a couple of times. And this one, I want to title this video, Breaking Down Darius Wright. And, it's not going to be negative. It's going to be a little bit more real. I've done some videos where I have my questions for Darius Wright. And I've done one where it says... my thoughts on Darius Wright, where I've kind of kept it more in line with his teachings and stuff like that. But like I said, based on some of the comments I've been getting from in my own channel, it's kind of like questioning Darius. And also, there's been videos that made about him. I'm going to give you guys my take, okay? Like, I'm going to give this as clean as possible. You may have had these thoughts yourself, but it's something nobody really wants to talk about. So let's just get real, guys. Darius and his message. When it comes to OBE's astral projection, that's a real phenomenal. I do it. A lot of people do it. Robert Monroe, probably the founding father of it in the West. And but Darius came with a very unique message. As far as what he's seen, the reality that we live in, all the different realms and stuff like that. The shape of Earth according to what he sees, stuff like that. So it's a very original message. And to add to that is the whole appearance, right? Some people call him like, he looks like Jesus. The way he kind of talks and the way he moves his hands, the way he holds his hand when he talks, like that. All that is this image. So I'm just going to say, guys, is it possible that this is just staged? This is all, it's just made up, fake, for money? And the answer is yes, guys. At the end of the day, man, people do things for money and there's motives behind it, right? So it could be all for money. And I'm going to kind of break it down for you guys. I mean, motivation, if you're charging $300, $500, and I've to his defense, and when I said my video of my thoughts on Darius Wright, I defended that. If you have the right to charge a personal trainer, a coach, whoever, other topics, they charge good money, dog trainers. And I also said I rather charge $300-$500, spend quality time with 10-15 people than charge them $20-$30 and have like work with 100 people, so yeah, to this defense, I can see why you want to do that. So is that a possibility? Sure. So the way I break this down, guys, is, and I made a little notes for myself here so I don't get off track, which is why I don't do this during a walk. If you're familiar with my channel, I kind of walk around and wing these videos, but I kind of want to be a little bit prepared for this. By the way, these books are that I've read. This is the latest one that I'm reading. Worst book on the topic, really bad. My top favorite, this is a good one too, but I'm working on this one right now because I just want to give it a little background related to the topic. So as far as Darius, guys, here's the breakdown, okay? Like the title of this video. A is that he is seeing what he's telling us as far as what he sees, what he says shown, right? I wish people would stop during an interview at least 4 or 5 times and say, how exactly was that shown to you, right? He has said where, like, that it was through these tablets that he touched and all the information was downloaded to him. But yeah, but still, like, kind of push a little bit. Every time somebody is shown, ask how interesting would it be? How was blah, 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 blah shown to you, right? So everything he's been shown, his message, I don't want to get into detail. He's got, I don't know, at this stage, 50 interviews, an hour long. You can watch them. If you're watching this video, you already know what I'm talking about. So A guy guys, is what he's seen is the truth. Okay, his message, the reality that we live in, everything we've been told since childhood, NASA, the globe, space, all that's BS. What he's seeing is the truth, and his message is the truth. Now, I personally have trouble believing that. It's a big, especially when it comes to the shape of Earth and flat Earth and all that stuff. That's a big one to swallow, and I want to kind of talk a little bit about that, because if Darius' message was everything he says minus that, I think it would have been more believable for most people. But at the same time, I don't think he would get the attention that he is, because his message is so unique. If he didn't say we live in this flat plane and ice walls and stuff like that, it would be just another guy. It would be his looks and his manners, the way he delivers it would help him, but he probably wouldn't get as much attention. So that's... And what I was going to say, yeah, like if he said everything he said minus that, where would he be? Would he be where he is now or no? I don't know. We don't know that. But let's say, everything he's telling is the truth, right? I personally wouldn't say I believe that, just because there's so much evidence against it. If we were taught as kids, we live in a globe, space, NASA, all that stuff, if that's all fake, then there you go. What he's saying is the truth. For me personally, that's a hard one. I know some people believe in it. If that's what you want to believe, great. Second, he has seen everything that he's saying, but it's his reality, right? So, meaning you and I go out, you don't see it. I personally, to be honest with you guys, I don't really care about the realms and heavens and soul records and stuff like that, which is why I don't seek them, which is why I never sign up for Darius' course, because I don't really care about that stuff. For me, the biggest thing was access my deceased father, stand in front of him, talk to him, which I've done many times. I have a full videos on them. Try to get something validate, like a verifiable information from him, because at the end of the day, like I've said this before, personally care less about the shape of Earth, realms, soul records and stuff like that. If I could get something verifiable from a deceased relative, and that's proof to me that there is such a thing as afterlife, at the end of the day, do you care about anything else? I don't. So that's why I don't seek those things. So going back to my point, I'm glad I kind of made notes here, is so what he's seeing is his truth, but it doesn't mean it's true, right? So that's one of them. And the third one, the one that most of us will have trouble with, is it's just made up, guys. This is just for money. You kind of, because in the other thing I want to say is, if you listen to a lot of Darius' interviews, he kind of sticks to this frame. He has a frame which he doesn't step out a lot. 10-15 minutes in, it's about love, fear, unconditional love. Love is how everything. The answer to everything is love. You can leave. He even goes as far as saying our bodies is meant to live forever. We can live 1,000 years with love, but he doesn't tell you how you could use love to live 1,000 years. It's just kind of like somehow nobody asks that, nobody follows up. They kind of get hypnotized with all the stuff that he says. And there's a guy who did a review of him recently. I'm going to get on here in a minute. Or fear. Fear is always like the reason people don't get into astral projection, or they can't. But it's not all fear, guys. It's lack of belief, lack of desire, intention, lack of technique. Okay, those are all reasons. It's not always fear. And I know Darius and all of his students really talk about fear. Like 5 minutes in, they talk about fear. So he has this frame, right? He doesn't want to step out. It's usually like love, fear, stuff like that. And so I'm just kind of looking at my notes, guys, here. Now, kind of let's go back to, so those are the three possibilities in my opinion. Now, the guy named Tom Sayers, I don't know much about this guy, honestly, guys. I don't know what he's all about, what he teaches. I haven't watched his channel enough, but I know he loves to kind of like review channels and pretty much throw up all over them. And if I had his channel, his subscribers, I would probably invite these guys for an interview. I'm not an interview channel. It's not something I will do or have done. But it would be nice for him to bring these people over and just ask them those hard questions. But they probably wouldn't, go to his channel. But he did his second review of Darius, and the video that he picked, guys, it's one that I couldn't even watch. It's all about love. It's just like goes in circle, love this, love that. It just makes no sense. Probably one of my least favorite Darius videos. and he butchers it for like an hour and a half. He kind of goes over. So this Thomas Sayer guy just butchers that video. I think he spends way more time on that. So, and then another thing in a comment that somebody made. Now I've seen this video before, guys. A channel called ArchX or something. I'll put all this in the descriptions for you guys. Towards the middle, this was really interesting. This blonde lady shows up, which I've seen. This guy actually looks like a biker slash atheist, just the way he looks. I don't know the guy. I don't follow him or anything. But this blonde girl made some interesting points. Supposedly, she was part of this group with Darius and Lisa and Harrison, and they used to all live in Morocco. And she really gets in the detail of. So this is where, guys, like I'm saying, I'm just keeping it real. I personally love to believe everything. If there's not necessarily what he's seeing is the truth, but at least he is seeing these things and he's, delivering his messages. I like to believe that he has met a being named Celeste, and this is everything he's been shown. And, maybe this is all his reality. But this lady, towards the middle, he kind of shows up towards the middle, says how she used to be part of this group, and there's a girl named Heather. So the way I look at this, guys, Heather could be Celeste. This Heather girl was like all over Darius, like really pushing him when it comes to dreams and really getting him to say things like how far did you go, what did you see, and stuff like that. And honestly, guys, if you were to make all this up, which I'm not saying Darius comes across as very well-spoken, genuine guy, money could be the motive. I'm not saying that's what it is, guys. I'm just leaving it up for you guys to decide, whichever way where you want to fall. So Heather could be Celeste in reality. Heather probably played a big role, and then Uncle Bob was referred to as some drunk uncle who, I guess, and Darius' father was into like black, dark magic and stuff like that. She said a lot of stuff. Again, it's towards the end of this video by ArchX or something. I don't know how to say it. I'll put that in the description too. In a nutshell, guys, if I forgot anything, I'll put it in the description. In this video, I especially want to cover all my points. I think, looking at my notes, I did hit it. At the end of the day, guys, Darius's message, I, just like you guys, would love to believe everything he's telling is truth, who doesn't? We're souls, we go forever, our loved ones, we live in these realms, heaven realms, there's 12 of them, and Earth is flat. It's the flat Earth, by the way, for me personally, I'm like maybe 10% flat earther based on everything I've been watching and been exposed. I mainly watched it as entertainment, but it lines up more with creation going on instead of just some randomly, what is it, Big Bang Theory is some Earth was created by accident, everything is an accident, so I'm kind of with that. Either what he's saying is, I like to believe that it's all truth, kind of hard for me to believe it, but I like to believe that. I don't know, let's just leave it at that, okay? And then secondly is maybe it's all his reality. He's seeing all this stuff, it's his reality. Maybe there's some truth, some not, because everybody goes out of body, sees different things. And speaking of which, his students, you might argue, I'm kind of like, even some of you might comment this, oh, his students have seen this. They could have been influenced. If I'm in a course workshop, I'm being shown an image of this flat plane and dome over it and all these levels, I would probably see that during my next projection. So it doesn't mean it's the truth. And then the last one that nobody wants to believe is it's all for money. It could be, man, guys. I mean, think about it, like $300, $500. At the level that he is right now, he's getting millions of views. You get 10, 15, 20 people sign up per month. That's good money, man. That's really good money. And if this sounds harsh on Darius, that was not the point. I just want to break it down, give you guys my take on it. Somebody who's actually doing this. If you look at Darius's interviews, most of them, I would say like 90% plus, are these channels that know nothing about astral projection OBs. They've never experienced it. They just got big channels, Like if I were to interview Darius, just have a chat back and forth, my questions would be totally different for him. I would have some questions for him ahead of time, and then some would probably just come naturally. For example, I'd be like, your most recent exit. How did you roll out? Did you float out? Did you just hit the floor? Were you like somewhere else? Where did you go? Did you fly out of the window? Did you go out of your front doors? Because this is from personal experience, these are the things that I do, and I want to know how his went. And then once you left your house, was the environment the same? If not, what was the difference? If it was different, what do you think that is? Is that a different realm? You know, these are the questions I would have somebody who's doing this, not somebody who just has a channel. Or I would have tell him, you know, I don't know, like I would have different, the conversation, the way the conversation would have flowed would be totally different than some guy with 100,000 plus subscribers who just keeps interviewing one person after the other for clicks and views. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. Again, that's my honest breakdown on Darius. Like I said, A, this could be all reality. This is the guy with the message. B, it could be his reality. C, it's just made up, man. It's just for money, you know. You know, you got that whole look, posture, is sticking to that frame of love, and then, you know, fear, and just kind of try not to step too much out of it, you know. And that could be it. That's it, guys. Astral Diaries, channel dedicated to astral projection, OBE's experiences, tips, as well as, you know, some random videos like this. Support the channel, please like, share, and support financially. Buy me coffee. See you guys on the next one.